Hello everyone, I'm Entorb64.
I'm Tanner of the North.
And welcome to the HellfireComms playthrough of A Hat in Time. A lot of you have seen me stream this. I've never done a full playthrough for the channel before, and since we're playing the PC version, you can expect the Seal the Deal DLC content, as well as maybe a mod showcase or two. But Tanner, you're the one who has all the trivia and whatnot, so when did this hilariously successful Kickstarter begin, mate? What are its origins?
Yeah, so development of this game started formally in August of 2012. That's when like the Kickstarter and everything was decided. But I remember seeing videos of very early prototypes of this game all the way back in like 2009 and 2010 there, made by, starting with one man, Jonas Karlev, who said, you know what, 3D platformers, they're not really a thing anymore. So he decided to take efforts into his own hands and make what other companies decided to not. I mean, ironically, right after we got, like, Ukulele and Mario Odyssey. But in my opinion, this game surpasses both of them.
Huh? Even Odyssey, a Nintendo game? Are you insane?
For me, it does come down to aerial movement. I love being able to correct myself in the air when I make a big mistake.
Let's be honest, Luigi was always the aerial brother. I mean, like, this is what Tanner means when he's talking about, like, aerial, boom.
Yeah, you get like it's really a triple jump, really, because you get a double jump in the air, and then you get a dive, and then another jump off of that, which leads to many fun shenanigans.
Oh, this is so cute.
One thing I love is there's so much love put into every sort of little detail in this game. It's really nice, and it works for its slightly smaller scale, for sure.
Indeed. Like I said, we're playing the PC version. I went into settings and turned off all the fancy stuff, and we're running at 30, and I'm already noticing just how much smoother it's running.
Yeah, no, for sure. So this game, it is open in a way that no other game is for the graphical settings. You can crank things up to be 200 frames per second with, like, the most graphical settings ever, or you could put it down to the most, like, I have a crappy laptop, and I was able to run it smoothly on that with everything down at its bottom, and it still looked good because, hey, art style.
Yep.
So, no, this game is one that I'd say, no matter what type of computer you have, or console, coming to Switch soon, you can give it a shot.
There we go. She's so fucking cute!
She is adorable. She used to be a lot less adorable in earlier builds, where she was, like, taller and more lanky. The art direction, as well as character design, and even characters in general, have gone through quite a number of changes in development. I've been following the development of this game for a long time, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
And we get to meet a friendly little space friend, I guess.
Really? Like, I'm pretty sure I don't owe anyone protection money.
What is this? Flying boat?
I mean, everyone owes the Mafia protection money.
I guess. Alright, Bucarati, what do you want?
Mafia come in to collect.
The Mafia here have been in since pretty much the start. It is one of those things that was a home run on the first hit, and they kept them right from the start there, even the voice being done by Kyle Johnson.
I kind of feel sorry for him, but at the same time, he was almost a home invader there, so... Oh no. Not my MacGuffins, not my jiggies, not my stars.
Look like the plot is going.
Oh, well, looks like we ain't getting back home anytime soon. Harumph.
There's many implications that Hat Kid is just some weird, unkillable alien, sort of like Kirby. Like, not even human. Just this kid-shaped, horrible thing.
What you see is just kind of like a facade. Beneath it, it's a cosmic horror who only wants to get home and just enjoy their trinkets.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, this game is inspired by many different things. Taking one look here, and you can see that it's like, yeah, this is our Delfino Island, our Super Mario Sunshine representative in here.
Yeah, you're not feeling so grandiose now, are you, asshole? Anyway, Pons. They're our main collectible. Pick them up and bada bing, you can, like, purchase stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, they're the money. They're not the health. The red ones are, which we'll see later. So you get, you want to collect as many of them to talk to certain people and unlock certain things, because money is used for goods and services.
It is indeed. The sense of humor in this game is fantastic, by the way. Like, I've heard people call it corny, but it's perfect for the type and tone of game they're going for.
You know what? It is corny, but it's corny in a refreshingly edgy way. Like, not too edgy, but every now and then you'll just hear someone say something that's a little too real.
Yeah, or you get a sensible chuckle out of it, which is what I like the most.
Yeah, for sure. So, the voice cast for this game is quite extensive. For one, it was directed by one Chris Niosi, aka Kerbifer, of Brawl Taunts fame. As I said before, Kyle Johnson is the entire Mafia, and Afia Yu is the voice of Hat Kid, and she was a internet voice actress for a long time, but has recently got into being many different dub actors for Funimation, such as Pop Team Epic and Dragon Ball, My Hero, all those really good stuff.
I just love how fluid the controls are and whatnot, I gotta be honest. Like, again, Mario Odyssey, beautiful game, controls like a dream. Mario is just a little bit too heavy for my liking.
Yeah, he's very heavy in it, no, for sure. That's when I went to play it, there's been many times where even Mario gets a mid-air dive, but it's quite different from this one.
This is so cute. Shablam!
Someone took that and then they edited it to be the Mortal Kombat, like, X-ray move after that, and it's the most brutal thing I've ever seen, and it's the best.
Okay, so we're following Little Red Riding Hood for some reason?
Yeah, she's got a little mustache.
Why not? I don't judge.
Yeah, just to let people know now, it's never explained.
Yeah, it's just a thing, and she's British for some reason, even though this isn't Earth.
Down there. Don't think I didn't see
Mustache Girl, and she's voiced by Eileen Montgomery. She is another online video actor, less of a official one.
Yeah, it feels like you're kind of like downplaying her accomplishments there, but he's really not. She does a great job in the game.
Oh no, she's actually probably my favorite voice actress in this. Every line read makes me laugh because of how much effort goes into it. It could just be a normal line, but she'll like extend words out and like put crazy amounts of emphasis. It's great.
Like, watch you, Harry. You ready to come to the borough and do some Quidditch?
And it's interesting because in earlier footage, it was the same voice actress, but she gave a way more tame role. And then when I went to play the full game, and you hear her just hamming it up, and I'm like, that is much better.
I'm so British, I shit the Queen.
So, probably her most famous role is she was in Final Fantasy VII Machine Abridged as Priscilla there. Have you watched Machine Abridged?
No, I can't say I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy fan, but I'm hoping to change that with all the classics that are coming to Switch.
I will say, that's the one by Team 4-Star there. It's really good, and they got dubbed Deku as Cloud, and it is the best.
Not sure how I feel about the dub of My Hero Academia, but this is not the forum for such a discussion.
We will have to talk later, sir, because I stand by that dub so hard.
Oof. Alright, so, yeah, you got a double jump into that, and like a fucking slide in the air cancel. It's great.
Yeah, so it's not really like a third double jump, really, but it gives you just enough little extra if you need to get over a sort of a gap or something. It is important to note that if you do the dive into a wall, you will bonk off of it. So you gotta be careful about that. Unless, yes, I was gonna say, there is a badge later that lets you negate that.
I love the music in the game. The soundtrack is, phenomenal. It has one Grant Kirkhope doing a few tracks, but I have to say, I think I prefer the tracks that aren't Grant Kirkhope, funnily enough.
No, for sure. It was, I think his name is Michael Pascal. He did the rest of the soundtrack, and gonna be real. His stuff is better, and the way it worked was for the Kickstarter, which blew past every single goal.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
After they hit every stretch goal, including the the hub world and New Game Plus and multiplayer, they basically said, okay, what we're going to do is for every $30,000 past this, we're going to get another song by Grant Kirkhope. And it got so much money that it would have been like half of the game's soundtrack. So they said, okay, we're going to get 3 really good songs and get the rest of them be by Plasma Music is his online name, which is, no, his soundtrack is great, and it uses my favorite thing in game soundtracks, which is a recurring leitmotifs. So having it be the same notes, but rearranged for the situation.
I skipped an act. We're doing this out of order. I'm a maverick Let's Player.
That's fine. It's honestly, this game is quite open for that. I mean, it's no different from, and I think that he actually said when because I watched development streams, he said that this was like, okay, so in Mario Sunshine, you can just skip the first shine of the game and go right for Petey Piranha. So it's the same thing. Just do it as you want, you know?
Oh no, the rain is destroying everything.
Yeah, but it's okay. You get a cute little rain outfit.
A smock, if you will.
Yeah, so I really do love how there's a couple chapters where you get little unique outfits that you get to wear. And of course, as soon as that happened, modders were like, well, I want to be able to use that everywhere. So the first things they did was mod it's like, oh yeah, use it in every area.
This is like your secondary tier collectible, I'd say. The yarn. It allows you to basically get new hats and whatnot. Oh, and I've got enough yarn to stitch it, so bada bing, bada boom. Get this motherfucker in my room.
The first one lets you, like, the first unique one you get gives you the ability to craft that hat that is based on it. Later ones let you just get more yarn to craft whatever. So the first one unlocks the option, the second ones are the currency to actually make it.
There you go.
Mafia cook food for all of City, not just Mafia.
Oh, good guy mafioso. You don't see this a lot outside of, like, JoJo.
Mafia funny.
Oh.
Joke, we eat all.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, the Mafia are all scum. It's refreshing, because every time you expect one to not be, they are.
If I just ignore her and focus on alcohol, everything will be fine.
Alcohol fixes all problems, including monsters.
Indeed. Oh, an actual human.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy.
I would have gone and done a belly dive over there.
I always love when they actually write the dialogue to reflect, like, the lingo or the accent.
It's so good. So yes, hopping over there will get us a special badge, which is very useful for any sort of video making, and that is the camera badge, which lets you do all sorts of camera trickery.
Bada bing.
So you get filters, you get all that good stuff. Funnily enough, this was planned way before Mario Odyssey, and then Mario Odyssey just curbed it.
Every game has a photo mode now. Mario Odyssey has one, God of War has one, fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 has one. I love that Kingdom Hearts has one now, though, because, like, such a beautiful series of games. It absolutely needed a camera mode.
The worst one, I mean, thematically, to get it, is the new Tomb Raider, because you can do it while Laura is dying horrible, horrible deaths, and you still get control over the face, so you can have her being completely impaled by, like, rebar and spikes, and then give a big ol' smile on her face.
Who are those games even for? I gotta say.
The Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
For people on Xbox who can't play Uncharted.
Wow. You're not entirely wrong.
I'm not. So there's some really nice environmental storytelling, every Dark Souls fan's favorite thing, where you see the boat there, and later on you get to learn the history of that boat. It's not told to you right away, and it's not told to you even explicitly, but there's some good visual storytelling that will go on there.
Combat in this game is literally nothing. Like, if you see an enemy, you can jump, press X if you're using a 360 controller, and you do like a homing attack, and then you have that. But I like that. It's not like enemies have health bars or anything, so they're just another obstacle. It's like jumping over a box, that's all it is.
Yeah, originally the homing attack was actually exclusive to Hat Kid's default hat before they realized, nah, it's kind of so important we gotta incorporate that as part of the base move set there. There was a couple different powers that were, like, removed for the full game, or set out to be different hats later that were just like, nah, we're just gonna put it as part of the base moveset.
I should probably head to my objective now. I've just kind of been dicking about, but that's the fun of this. There's, like, so much to find and see.
No, it does strike an interesting balance between, like, an open-world free roam as well as having objectives, because there's all sorts of collectibles in these levels that you can get kind of in whatever mission, while at the same time you still have your current mission you have to go get.
Okay, so I need 4 to stitch that. It's not like you need specific yarn or anything, it's just, it's set in, like, levels and whatnot.
Yeah, you just need the first one.
Oh, I thought that was a thing I could unlock. What is on that television?
That's the Hat Kid logo, making the test pattern.
Beautiful. I would say, like, the sprint cap is one of my favourites. What about you, Tan? And what's one of your favourite hats in the game?
Yeah, sprint is definitely, like, if I'm not wearing one of my super broken, downloadable hats that I got, I'll definitely be wearing the sprint hat. Although I will say, I way prefer the upgrade we get for the sprint cap much later.
Mm-hmm. Let's scare the shit out of him. I need that timepiece, mate. This is not negotiable.
So this area is quite interesting. This was originally another character's workshop, a character that was actually taken out of the game when the creator of a bunch of characters decided that creative differences, he didn't want to be part of the game anymore.
Yeah.
So there was a character named Thor, who looked kind of like Mario with kind of a flat cap thing. Hey, flat caps. But eventually him, as well as a bunch of other characters, including the originally planned 2-player character and his other alter ego. These were all characters that were sadly, for some people, but not for me, I didn't like them, removed.
Okay, well, I guess we all have our opinions when it comes to art and whatnot. Personally, I love the art design of the game as it is. I think it perfectly, pays homage to the games they're obviously trying to reference and whatnot, and yeah, no problems.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, it has its inspirations. You can definitely see, like, Mario Sunshine, Wind Waker, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door quite later.
Yes.
As well as Psychonauts was another one that they say is an example. Let's see, there's a list here that it says that we're all based on. Oh, and Banjo-Kazooie. So you can see that they all take these different ideas, but in the end they make something, I'd say, fairly wholly unique. There's some things that you look at and you're like, no, that's taken from a clear inspiration. But for the most part, it is quite unique, yeah.
I mean, you could say, like, the hat system is just Kirby's power-ups, but again, like, it takes it and uses it in a different context, and it makes it unique.
Well, interestingly, I remember way back in the start, he said that the hats were going to be simply cosmetic and not actually do anything, but everyone was like, why? You can do so much with that. And then he's like, no, you're kind of right. Because originally badges were just going to be the big important thing.
Alright, let's see what we've unlocked now. I don't know how long these parts are going to be. I might do like a few timepieces per part. Oh yeah, we are going for all timepieces here, because this ain't no basic bitch playthrough. I love me some collectathons.
Yes, and there are 40 in the base game, with I think 8 added in the Seal the Deal. I don't know if we'll do the actual deal part, though.
The Death Wish mode, you mean?
Death Wish, that's what it's called, because it's, oh boy, having tried that out myself, and I think I'm fairly competent with this game. I actually got through this game with the base game at least. I got through with very little pushback. Like, this game, in my opinion, fits into that niche of, like, the original Shovel Knight, where it's difficult, but it never feels unfair.
No, Shovel Knight is supremely fine-tuned for difficulty.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like this game is similar in terms of its difficulty. So, of course, the first DLC, which is a post this game DLC, like it's a sequel DLC, does ramp it up, and then that Death Wish mode was so tough they have every single time they released an update, it was to make it slightly easier for people, because I could not beat the first mission.
That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie.
It is. It's insane, actually, some of the stuff. Now, we'll get to at least showing it off later, but we need, like, I think 38 timepieces to get to that.
Is that all of them? I think that's all of them to open the blue safe.
Yeah, I think it was 3. It's usually 3.
Bada bing. And you mostly get, like, yarn and whatnot, but this should be enough to craft, the brewing yarn, which allows us to blow stuff up. So, let me go to here, and boom.
It's actually a really good one for attacking enemies because the potions that are thrown actually do lock onto enemies, and so you can just do a double jump and then throw it, and it does go fairly far.
Yeah.
And you need it to break any glowing obstacles. So if you see back there was some glowing boxes there. That's what you need to blow them up.
And got a bit of a yarn here, and you can actually charge it and move at the same time and jump.
Yeah, I think you can even dive with it if I'm correct.
I will test that now.
Mafia joking. Child can't open vault.
While he stands next to the open vault.
You fool.
Mafia could not pocket.
Oh, you silly sausage. Alright, let's try this dive thing. Yep. Oh no, it cancels it, okay.
It cancels the charge. You know what though? That's still really nice and open-ended for movement.
There you go. So yeah, if you don't want to use your like melee weapon, this just gives you a little bit of range.
Yeah, one of the cool mods that I saw people make is they made a thing called the weapon select mod, which lets you just totally change what the Whoa, what's happening?
I don't know, I think it's trying to put me into position. There we go, yeah.
There you go, you're just a little slidey day.
You motherfucker. Why didn't I see that coming? It already happened once.
Maybe you were hoping for a redemption.
No redemption arc here, mate. Mafia is bad. We are all bad guys here.
True. Mafia can't have child witness when Mafia teaching.
So this boss fight was in quite. I don't even know if I'd call this a boss fight. It's labeled as one in game, but it's really not. The boss fights in this game are intense and awesome. This one is not really of the same level. This one's very clearly a very early one.
Let's blow up the Barrel Mountain, and then no one will get the Mustache Girl.
You know, I don't know. They're not very smart, but making a mountain of TNT, and standing on top of it even, not the smartest.
I've seen people, and myself included, actually be a bit thrown off by this because you're locked into a 2D plane right now.
Yeah, I could, like, the very first time I touched it, I was like, oh, that's a bit weird, but it makes sense right after. I think this is the only dedicated 2D part of the game, though, now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I can't really think of many others, which is odd for something that's Mario-inspired.
Yeah, you think there'd be, you know, some classic Sonic style, like, you know, 2D sections. Interesting. Huh, never even thought about that.
Well, something for the modders, I suppose.
Yeah, no, they've been doing some really cool stuff, even since the very beginning there.
Just gotta dodge in this bit. Don't try and, like, bounce the barrels back or anything.
Yeah, no, I was definitely trying to, like, I'm gonna hit them back, and it's like, nope, don't do that.
Yeah. Was this the bouncy one? Yeah, this is the bouncy one.
So did you play the betas at all?
No, but I was given a review build along with pretty much everyone else on the planet, I think. So thank you very much for that, guys. I did stream my first, like, 4 hours of the game, and like I said, I finished it on stream, but this is the playthrough. This is the real deal.
Yeah, no, I remember pledging and getting the alpha version and just being, like, so ecstatic because I've been watching this game forever. And I actually have videos up of me playing through the entire alpha and beta, and it's, like, for the alpha especially, it was one of the only ones that was online. So my videos get people going back for, like, video preservation purposes of looking at how the game has changed, and I'm like, I love that. It's great.
You're doing a good job, mate. Preservation is very important when it comes to video games.
No, for sure, and that's sometimes why I make videos is just for the present. Like, when I'm given early copies of stuff, I will make sure to record it even when they say to not, just to, like, for later on to be like, okay, I have this thing of the early footage, and for people to believe me. I think it's so important that for not only the games themselves, but their process to be preserved.
Yeah, for sure, mate. I love Vidya. Obviously, this is a Vidya channel mostly. Love you, Vidya.